Hello students, we are going to start chapter 5, Indigo, by Louis Fisher. Let's see something about the author. Louis Fisher was born in 1896 and died in 1970. He was born in Philadelphia in 1896. He served as a volunteer in British Army between 1918 to 1920. Fisher made a career as a journalist and wrote for New York Times, The Saturday Review, and European Asian publications. He was also a member of faculty of Princeton University. Let's have the quick introduction of the chapter. The story is based on the interview taken by Louis Fisher of Mahatma Gandhi. In order to write on him, he had visited him in 1942 at his ashram Sevagram, where he was told about Indigo movement started by Gandhiji. The story revolves around the struggle of Gandhi and other prominent leaders in order to safeguard sharecroppers from the atrocities of landlords. Let's start the chapter. See, let's have the quick gist of the lesson so that we can know the outline of the chapter. Then we'll go through the summary, detailed summary. The characters which are there in the chapter is Rajkumar Shukla. He is a poor sharecropper from Champaran. He wished to meet Gandhiji. Rajkumar Shukla was illiterate but resolute. Hence followed Gandhiji to Lucknow, Kanpur, Ahmedabad, Calcutta, Patna, Muzaffarpur and Champaran. This Kanpur is the old name. It is according to the pronunciation of British people. Okay? Mahatma Gandhi is also there. Rajendra Prasad is also there. And let's see how it goes on. So Rajkumar Shukla is a poor sharecropper from Champaran. He want to meet Gandhiji. He is not literate, but still he followed Gandhiji everywhere so that he can convey his problem to him. Servants at Rajendra Prasad. Rajendra Prasad is one of the very best lawyers of those days. Okay? So when they both reached to Rajendra Prasad's residence with Gandhiji, so the people who were serving Rajendra Prasad helpers, they thought Gandhiji was one of the untouchable. That is why he made them sit outside their home. Gandhiji considered as an untouchable because of simple living style and wearing due to the company of Rajkumar Shukla. They both decided to go to Muzaffarpur first to get detailed information about Champaran sharecropper. They sent telegram to J.P. Kripalani and stayed in Proof Malkani's home, a government servant. Indians afraid of showing sympathy to the supporters of home rulers. The news of Gandhiji's arrival spread. Sharecroppers gathered in large number to meet their champion. Gandhiji chided the Muzaffarpur lawyer for taking high fee. Champaran district was divided into estate owned by English people. Indians only tenant farmers. Landlords compelled tenants to plant 15% of their lands with indigo and surrender their entire harvest as rent. In the meantime, Germany had developed synthetic indigo. British landlords freed the Indian farmers from 15% arrangement but asked them to pay compensation. Many signed, some resisted, engaged lawyers, and landlords hired thugs. Gandhiji reached Champaran, visited the secretary of British Landlords Association to get the facts but denied as he was an outsider. Gandhiji went to British official commissioner who asked him to leave Tirhat. Gandhiji disobeyed. Went to Motihari, the capital of Champaran, where a vast multitude greeted him. Continued his investigations. Visited maltreated villagers stopped by the police superintendent, but disobeyed the orders. Motihari black with peasants. Spontaneous demonstrations. Gandhiji released without bail. Civil disobedience triumphed. Gandhiji agreed to 25% refund by the landowners. It is symbolized the surrender of the prestige. Gandhiji worked hard towards social economic reforms, alleviated their distress, aided by his wife Mahadev Desai, Narhari Parikh. Gandhiji taught a lesson of self-reliance by not seeking help of an Englishman, Mr. Andrews. So let's have the summarization, compiled summarization of the chapter so that we can understand the points which we just now covered. They were just the outline of the chapter, gist of the chapter. Okay. So Louis Fisher met Gandhiji in 1942 at his Sevagram ashram. Gandhiji told him that how he initiated the departure of British from India. He recalled that it in 1917, at the request of Rajkumar Shukla, a sharecropper from Champaran, he visited the place. Gandhiji had gone to Lucknow to attend the annual meeting of National Congress in the year 1916. Shukla told him that he had come from Champaran to seek his help in order to safeguard the interests of sharecroppers. Gandhiji told him that he was busy, so Shukla accompanied him to various places till he consented to visit Champaran. His firm decision impressed Gandhiji, and he promised him that he would visit Calcutta at particular date, and then Shukla come and take him along to Champaran. Shukla met him at Calcutta and they took a train to Patna. Gandhiji went to lawyer Rajendra Prasad's house and they waited for him. In order to grab complete knowledge of the situation, he reached Muzaffarpur on 15th April 1917. He was welcomed by Professor J.B. Kripalani and his students. Gandhiji was surprised to see the immense support of the advocate of home. He also met some lawyers who were already handling cases of sharecroppers. As per the contract, 15% of peasants' land holding was to be reserved for cultivation. The system was very oppressive. Gandhiji wanted to help the sharecroppers, so he visited the British Landlords Association, but was not given any information because he was an outsider. He then went to Commissioner of Tirhat Division, who threatened Gandhiji and asked him to leave Tirhat. Instead of returning, he went to Motihari. He started gathering complete information about the indigo contract. He was accompanied by many lawyers. One day, as he was on his way to meet a peasant who was maltreated by indigo planters, he was stopped by the police superintendent's messenger who served him a notice asking him to leave. Gandhi received the notice but disobeyed the order. As case was filed against him, many lawyers came to advise him, but when he stressed, all joined his struggle and even consented to go to jail in order to help poor peasants. On the day of trial, a large crowd gathered near the court. It became impossible to handle them. Gandhiji helped the officers to control the crowd. Gandhiji gave his statement that he was not a lawbreaker, but he disobeyed so that he could help the peasants. He was granted bail and later on the case against him was dropped. Gandhiji and his associates started gathering all sorts of information related to indigo contract and its misuse. Later, a commission was set up to look into the matter. After the inquiry was conducted, the planter was found guilty and were asked to pay back to the peasants. Expecting refusal, they offered to pay only 25% of the amount. Gandhiji accepted because he wanted to free the sharecroppers from binding of indigo contract. He opened 6 schools in Champaran village, and volunteers like Mahadev Desai, Narhari Parikh and his son Devdas taught them. Kasturbai, the wife of Gandhiji, used to teach personal hygiene. Later on, with the help of a volunteer doctor, he provided medical facility to the natives of Champaran, thus making their life a bit better. A peacemaker, Andrews wanted to volunteer at Champaran Ashram, but Gandhiji refused, as he wanted Indians to learn the lesson of self-reliance and that they would not depend on others. Gandhiji told the writer that it was Champaran's incident that made him think that he did not need the Britishers' advice while he was in his own country. So let's see the theme of the chapter. So the theme conveyed by the story is that it is not impossible to conquer and win over the powerful. The Champaran event had solved various problems faced by the poor peasants. They were relieved from the torture they had to face at the hands of landlords. Thousands of people supported him. This was considered as a turning point in the life of Gandhi. He once said that what he did was an ordinary thing, as he didn't want the Britishers to order him in his own country. So, it is not impossible to conquer and win over the powerful. Everything is possible if efforts are consistent. Then the second, if the people get together and fight against injustice, no power in the world can stop them from achieving what they desire. Ordinary people too contributed in the freedom movement. This can be justified by the following events. A large number of students accompanied by Professor J.B. Kripalani to welcome Gandhi at Muzaffar railway station. Peasants also came to see him, either on foot or by conveyance. A large number of people gathered to demonstrate around the courtroom. So like this, many people participated and they brought themselves together to make this movement successful. So whenever people get together to fight against any injustice, their success is there. So I just hope you have understood the chapter well.